involvement in the Bristol Beacon project, which our involvement really wasn't, I suppose, this year, but in the previous years. But it's been an ongoing project since 2018, and we've not had chance to share our work yet. So now is that time. So the Bristol Beacon project, which you can see here, is formerly known as Colson Hall. The structure is now nearing the end of a full refurbishment, which involved stripping out the whole of the internals of this structure, adapting the structure, and then refurbishing it to be a new state-of-the-art theatre. So this is what it looked like before, if Angus wants to click. And this is what it looks like now. So you see, it's not a huge change to the outside, but there's a massive change to the inside. We've worked on a variety of schemes, including temporary ties across arches, many needling schemes, some of which are very complex, and a full-scale facade retention to the main hall, which is to the rear in this image. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Next slide, please. So for context, we are now inside the main hall as it was prior to the scheme. And well, Angus has gone to what it looked like shortly after this, after the strip out. The two side walls in here are roughly 15-16 meters high from ground level, and the width of this hall is 23.5 meters wide. Next slide, please, Angus. So this shows the 3D model of the structure in the following demolition stage. And Angus, do you want to click again, please? Sorry. You're going to get fed up with me because I've done a lot of these overlays. So this is what the structure looks like with our concept in place to support these outer walls. So you see we've split it into three segments, one which is the purple one to the rear, that's over the stage area and ties the two large piers. The green one, which supports the two outer side walls, and that works like a big portal frame. And then just to the front where that gable wall is the sort of cyan colour temporary work scheme, which I'll go into a little bit more detail shortly. Do you want to click again? Yeah. So here shows a cross section through the building looking towards the stage, and if we click again, there is our temporary works concept scheme in place. And if we click again, we can see the new permanent work structure overlaid. So obviously we had to make sure that we didn't clash with the permanent work structure. So we've done a full clash detection as well. Angus, do you want to go to the next slide, please? So here's a plan of the main hall area. As again, just to give a sense of scale, we're looking 23.5 meters for our scheme. Do you want to click again, Angus? This shows our 3D model with all of our temporary works items, and you can see it's a very comprehensive package of works that we've had to produce. Do you want to go to the next one again, Angus? Sorry. So this is the central portal frame in place on site in all its glory. We've detailed this to be constructed in modules, and essentially this came to site with two little frames, which you can see to the top left, and all the so that comes prefabricated together, fully welded as an end frame, and then the members in between just tie them together. So the idea being that you assemble this at ground level, put the pod together, and then lift the pod into place to minimize risk, essentially, but working at height, and also to make it simpler to construct. Next slide, please. And here we can see the gable end facade retention system in place. You can see that this system works by supporting the wall at 2 levels. So there's 2 horizontal supports. Essentially, you've got 2 levels of trusses on plan that transfer the load back to 2 vertical trusses, which then transfer the load back to piers, which not the clearest on here, but you can see them at the bottom, sort of the concrete piers further down. That's it. There are Duodeg tie downs as well, which you can see on the left. You can't really see the ones on the right, to stop tension. You want to go to the next one, Angus? This one was one of the trickiest ones because of the potential for clashes within the new roof structure. We knew there was going to be 1 or 2 clashes, but that wasn't a problem because we knew about it in advance. But the issue being the installation was not necessarily going to be perfect to the anticipated design due to a variety of factors, with the wall not totally correlating with the model that we were provided with. So the project provided us with a point cloud that we could overlay in our model to see where the actual structure was in relation to where the design position was, and then we could advise the client on what members could be installed and what potential ramifications by omitting members in the temporary case were, and that enabled them to install the building. But I think we detailed some temporary ratchet straps to temporarily brace it in the very short-term condition. In fact, on the right-hand side, you can see the tie downs that I mentioned. The piers that I mentioned earlier. Angus, do you want to go to the next slide? So this shows now the roof structure starting to be installed, and you can see the new tiers are actually being installed from the new structure as well. And it's a cool shot of our temporary works in place and working well. And if you want to click again, Angus, there's an aerial shot, I believe, showing the roof steelwork being fully installed. And then there's one more click, and that's back to essentially where they are today.